Alright everyone, so once again we are seeing the global version of the game shake things up a bit compared to JP, and we are seeing things a bit different. And this week's notes here are pretty clear of that because we are getting Mono on her own step-up banner. There is no Easton, and whenever stuff like this happens, I think it causes a lot of people, including myself sometimes, to really feel a bit off track because things are not quite the same. And what I wanted to do today is hopefully try to guide you guys back on the right track and really let you know which big units and banners to be on the lookout for. And it's important here to not just mention one unit or two units. I really want to give you guys the general outline here, because for a lot of these banners, you're definitely going to need some time in order to prepare and save. And what I also wanted to do here is at least try to kind of lay it out in a priority order. Now, I understand that not everyone's priority order is going to be the same, so that's totally fine. If there's any unit that you want to summon on and you guys want to go for it, don't let anybody stop you. But I think what I want to go by here is like the general consensus. Like the things that I'm going to mention first are going to be the things that I would say more people are generally on the lookout for and are going to be saving their gems for. So let's start off with somebody who is absolutely not on this list though, and that is this week's upcoming banner, Red Mono. So she's really not that desirable unless you guys just want to get her for collection purposes or you really, really like her. Then, like I said, don't let anybody stop you. But if you guys are a free-to-play low spender, this is not a bad week in order to skip out on. But now let's talk about somebody who is going to be coming out sometime probably 2 to 3 months from now in the next festival banner. And I would say out of every unit that I'm going to mention, this is probably the one that most people are really looking for at the top of their lists here and are saving up gems for. And that is going to be Goddess Elizabeth. Now, Goddess Elizabeth here is also going to pair very, very well with Lost Vein Meliodas. And I think there's also a decent amount of people who feel like Lost Vein Meliodas, he's not really bad or anything like that. He's still very, very good. But I think with the amount of hype that was really generated for Lost Vein Meliodas, especially if you don't have him 6/6 and you just have a 1 out of 6 Lost Vein Meliodas, a lot of people feel like maybe they didn't quite get what they were expecting. Well, that's definitely going to be a bit different when Goddess Elizabeth does come out. And we kind of know the general timeline here that she's going to be out sometime in the next few months. Now, it could be as early as 2, it could be as late as 3 or so. I would be very surprised if it was any time next year. So I would say very, very likely she's going to be out this year, because if we look at the timeline for us here on Global, you could see here that the spacing between Lost Vein Meliodas, even on JP and Global, is obviously a bit more accelerated. You've got March 26th, you've got Goddess Elizabeth here, which is going to be in May, so you've only got a spacing there of just a couple of months. So, you know, if Global is going to be even faster, it could be sooner, but worst case scenario, I would say we're probably looking at around Christmas time, and I think that's a pretty general consensus to the timeline that a lot of people feel like she's going to be out. So once again, just like the Lost Vein banner that we have right now, it's going to function very similar in the sense that there's going to be a pity type system. And this is also why this is number 1 on my list here of things that you want to save gems for in terms of priority order, is because if you end up saving to 900 gems, just like the Lost Vein banner, it's actually even better because you'll actually have a choice between her or Lost Vein Meliodas. And this is really one of those things where I always prioritize things where there's less RNG involved higher as well. And this is one of those, because sure, you might get lucky, you might not get lucky on the actual rates on her banner herself, but even if you don't get lucky, if you do end up saving 900 gems, worst case scenario, you give yourself a chance to at least end up getting 1 copy of her. So that's kind of a reason there to start saving already. So still got a couple of months there, and we still have plenty of time on the Lost Vein banner, but that's definitely going to be up there on a lot of people's list. Now, getting back to the whole mono and a lot of people being thrown off here, I think a lot of people, including myself actually, were, really expecting Easton to also come out at the same time. Now, I wasn't 100% sure about Easton and Mono and Gloxinia. We all know that these units are going to be coming out soon. It's not going to be much longer, but the fact that we are just seeing Mono and not Easton, that definitely threw me off right here. So now a lot of people are asking questions about Easton, and I think this is a very good opportunity to not just talk about the Easton that a lot of people were expecting, which is Blue Easton, but also Green Easton. Now, the thing is, Green Easton is absolutely insane. Like, she is a top-tier unit, probably one of the, if not the best units on the JP version of the game, and Blue Easton is still a very, very good unit. She's not, quite on the same level as Green Easton, but you have to keep in mind that on the JP version of the game, Green Easton is actually a pretty recent unit, whereas Blue Easton came out a while ago. So you can see here on the timeline that if we go, you can see Green Easton here is actually close to the bottom of the list for JP, but Blue Easton is quite a bit up here. Now, some people are speculating that there is the possibility that we end up seeing both of these units release at the same time. Sure, that is definitely a possibility. It would be absolute insanity if that happened, though. I would be very surprised because you have two original character variants that are both extremely good, very highly desirable, and Netmarble being Netmarble and the fact that I know they like money, I'd be very surprised if they did not split these two up here in separate banners, or at least did something. You know, maybe they would make it so that it was one banner, but in order to get the Green Easton, it had to be your second rotation. I know they end up doing that on the JP version for some of the new original characters. The Blue Easton would be from the first rotation. I still think this is the unlikely option. I think we're going to end up seeing Blue Easton come out maybe next week, and Green Easton might be a while down the road because, you know, the power level of Green Easton right now compared to the units that we have, she's really just off the charts. It would absolutely shake things up in so many ways, but it is a possibility, and these are absolutely two units that you both really want to be on the lookout for, and you absolutely want to be saving, especially Green Easton. And even though it might be a while before she actually comes out, you know, now is not a bad time for you to kind of keep that in mind. Keep in mind that Global does like to shake things up. It might not be the time that you expect, and now is a good time in order to start preparing. Now let's talk about somebody who there is some pretty heavy speculation is actually going to be coming out very, very soon, and this is going off of one of the really big forms of hints that we have been given recently, and that is the weekly PvP rules. Now, these are not always exact here, of course. It's not like a guarantee. Obviously, only until Netmarble gives us the confirmation that a unit is coming out can I print the official stamp of confirmation. But you could definitely get a decent amount of information from these PvP rules, and this is the second month that they've been doing this. Now, if you take a look here at the week 3, a lot of people are taking a look at this here. Increases crit damage by 70%. And as soon as you see that increases crit damage by 70%, a lot of people's eyes are drawn towards Zeldris, because Zeldris is really based around crit damage. Now, Zeldris is somebody who I have not really talked too much about, but I think now is a fantastic time to at least start talking about him, because, you know, if we go back and take a look here, and we are now entering the week 2 of the PvP rules, we have one more week after that. Actually, never mind. It's week 3 right there. That's only one more week. So, very well possible that he could be coming much sooner than you guys think. It's not confirmed, of course. You know, we've seen Global do things really strangely. Definitely not afraid to shake things up. Netmarble likes to do things their way. But at least now is kind of the time to get that in the back of your head that it might be out sooner than you guys think. And with that being said, Zeldris is a very, very strong unit. Now, the thing about Zeldris, though, is I believe he's just going to come out on a regular, plain old, you know, pickup banner. It's not going to be a anniversary banner, of course. It's not going to be a step-up banner. It's just going to be a regular pickup draw. Kind of like these ones here, except the rate up should be 0.5% instead of the 0.35%. But what that means is that if you guys do want to get him right when he comes out, you're really going to need to save up a good chunk of gems or get lucky, because there's no guarantee. The pity system isn't going to give you a guaranteed Zeldris, it's just going to give you a guaranteed SSR, which only has a chance to be Zeldris. Now, I will tell you guys that if you take a look here, you can see that Blue Zeldris is really based around that crit damage. He's got that spike on his abilities, 160%, then up to 240%, then up to 400% for his rank 3. He's got Despair, which I don't know if we have any units on Global right now that actually have this mechanic. We might have one, but I don't know if I've actually used those units too often. But that's going to recover diminished HP upon a successful critical strike. Obviously, that's going to synergize with his crit damage because he's going to be doing a lot of critical strikes anyway. So his abilities do work pretty well together. It is an AoE right there. His ultimate is spike damage, which again has that 2x crit damage increase, 560 to 840%. And then, of course, his passive unique here increases crit damage by 30% when the hero's ultimate gauge is depleted by 1. So he gets more crit with the less ultimate gauge that he has, and that goes up to 90% right there, limit 3 times. And then his commandment removes debuffs from allies and enemies that moved skills and depletes the ultimate move gauge orbs by 1. Now, this is the Blue Zeldris, and I will tell you guys that the Blue Zeldris is the one that's going to be added to the regular summoning pool. So if you guys are still saving your Part 2 tickets, if Zeldris was one of the units that you wanted to use your Part 2 tickets on and give yourself a good chance to get, he will be added to the general pool. That also means that you don't have to feel bad if you don't get him on the banner. You don't have to pull on the banner as well. There will be opportunities to get him in the summoning pool later on. But if you take a look here at the other Zeldris, Red Zeldris, this is going to be the coin shop unit. So once again, this unit as well, you do not have to summon on the banner for either of these units. Sure, if you want to go for Blue Zeldris and give yourself the best chance, that 0.5%, instead of the 0.35%, which is a lower rate up on the general Part 2 banner. That's what his banner is for, but you do not have to. He's not exclusive to this banner, and Red Zeldris is going to be coming to the coin shop as well. Now, Red Zeldris is actually very good as well, and you can see here his skill kit, 120% damage and depletes 1 ultimate move gauge orb. This is a single target right there. So I believe that is Merlin's card right there, right? Probably a couple other units that have this card as well. I just don't know them off the top of my head. Green Merlin, anyway. Then you've got his rank 2, which really boosts up the damage from 120 to 300%, but keeps the deplete at 1 orb. And then 450% now depletes 3 orbs. Second skill right here, inflicts damage equal to 220% attack on 1 enemy, disables recovery skills for 1 turn. The rank 2 bumps it up to 2 turns, and the rank 3 is going to bump up the damage to 360%, also still disables recovery skills for 2 turns. Of course, his ultimate is going to be the same as Blue Zeldris, spike damage, so 2x crit increase, 560 to 840. And his commandment is still going to be the same, so I'm not going to go through that again, but taking a look at the passive for Red Zeldris, increases basic stats of all allies by 6% for every ally and enemy in battle possessing a commandment. So that right there is, that's pretty crazy. I really, really like this passive. I don't know. Like I said, I think I mentioned this for, I want to say Blue Easton, right? Where I said I really just like the very basic passives that just give you extra stats. They're really easy to work with and kind of form a good team with, and they really do boost up your power and strength by quite a bit without really making things feel a bit too overcomplicated like some passives can. So I'm a big fan of that, and this guy will be coming to the coin shop as well. But this gives you guys a general outline on some of the top most desirable units that should be coming to the game sometime in the next couple of months. Now, I know that there are still plenty of units that I missed out on this list, and I understand that. Again, this video is really about trying to talk about units that I think a lot of people are really looking forward to, units that you might want to end up preparing in order to save gems for, but there's still many units that we are going to be getting over the course of the next few months, and I want to say it one more time because I said it at the start. You know, this priority list, whatever, it's not like you have to go for number 1. Number 2 is always second place. If you guys find somebody that you really want to summon on, you know, the most important thing is to enjoy the game and have fun. So don't let anybody stop you in that sense. But anyway, at least now you guys know the information, and I really hope that this video helped out. So if you guys enjoyed and you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. Feel free to toss a quick like as well. It really does help out more than you can imagine. Thank you so much, guys. The YouTube algorithm really does appreciate those likes, so thank you once again. And more Grand Cross Global videos should be popping up on the screen right about now, or in the suggested videos to right or below. Over 150 Grand Cross Global guides, tutorials, and fun videos just like this on the channel. But if not, have a fantastic day, everyone. Take care, and until next time, this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.